What if the very thing you're trying to escape your pain, your struggles, your insecurities is actually the key to your purpose? What if suffering isn't the enemy, but the starting point? That idea sounds brutal, maybe even offensive when you're hurting. But it is also the truth that both BTS and Viktor Frankl discovered into very different worlds. One through music, the other through the Holocaust. BTS is one of the most successful music groups in history. But behind the spotlight is a story that almost didn't happen. Before the fame, there was doubt, rejection, depression. Jim, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, V, and Jungkook all went through personal battles, poverty, mental health issues, public scrutiny, and the soul-crushing expectations of the K-pop industry. In a world that demanded perfection, they were told they didn't have what it takes, that their sound wasn't good enough, that they weren't the right image, they weren't supposed to make it. But instead of hiding those flaws, they turned them into fuel. They didn't run from the pain. They wrote it, they sang it, they turned it into something new. Their music became a mirror. Fake love wasn't just about romantic heartbreak, it was about the masks we wear to be loved. The truth untold wasn't just poetic, it was a cry from behind the walls we build around our pain. An epiphany? It was a declaration. I am the one I should love in this world. Through those lyrics, BTS connected not because they were untouchable idols, but because they were human. And they let you see it. Now shift to Viktor Frankl. He was an Austrian neurologist, a psychiatrist, a man of science. Then he was arrested. He lost everything. His pregnant wife, his parents, his freedom. He was sent to Auschwitz. Every day, he faced death. Every hour, he watched others lose hope, lose their minds, or lose their lives. In that nightmare, Frankl had every reason to give up. But he didn't. Instead, he asked a question that would change history. If life still has meaning in the middle of a concentration camp, then meaning must be possible under any condition. Frankl realized that we may not always control what happens to us, but we always control how we respond. He called this logotherapy, the idea that the primary drive in life is not pleasure, not power, but meaning. And meaning often emerges when you suffer and choose to suffer for it. Something that's the same choice BTS made. They weren't just performing for awards. They were creating something to hold on to, something their fans could hold on to. Their pain didn't disappear, but it was no longer meaningless. The parallels are stunning. Frankl wrote, "When we are no longer able to change a situation, we are challenged to change ourselves." Is that what BTS did? They didn't change the system. They didn't erase the pressure. They changed how they showed up inside it. They made music that confronted perfectionism, fame, mental health, identity, loneliness. They showed that vulnerability is power. But here's the twist. Suffering doesn't automatically lead to growth. Some people suffer and get stuck. Some get bitter. Some shut down. So what makes the difference? Frankl believed it's your attitude. It's the way you frame your pain. He said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost anyhow." BTS gave their pain a why, and so can you. Because the truth is, we're all living through something. Maybe you're facing a breakup, a failure, a loss, or just a growing feeling that you don't know who you are anymore. Maybe you've been told that your story doesn't matter, that you're not good enough, that you missed your chance. But here's the thing, pain isn't proof that you've lost. Pain is the beginning of a new truth if you let it speak. What story could you create from your suffering? What message? What music? What movement? Look at BTS. They didn't start with hope. They started with heartbreak, and they transformed it. That's the lesson Frankl left behind. Meaning is not something you find. It's something you create, even when nothing makes sense, even when you're exhausted, even when the world tells you it's over. Especially then, your job is not to avoid suffering. Your job is to choose how you respond, to use it, to shape it, to make it mean something. That's what BTS did. That's what Frankl did. And that's what you can do, too. You are not just a victim of your pain. You are the author of what comes next. So stop asking why it hurts.